Well, I'm Paul Mita. This is Al Hallinger. We're doing this for the Collings Foundation for their Battle of the Airfield. It's every year on Columbus Day weekend. They have this battle. Probably about at least over 100 reenactors. 2 tanks this year, pack guns. You got your 88 big guns over there, planes, half tracks. U.S. has got 2 Shermans, just Chafies. They got all sorts of tanks down there for us to play tag with.
Well, a few places you can do that.
Yeah, and this is the Panther, the Panzer V. Came out a little later in the war. It, basically is the best German tank that was ever made during the war. This one here is actually a mock-up that was made in Hungary for a movie and was shipped over here by the Northeast Military Vehicle Restoration Group. They brought it over here, and basically we just repainted it, did a lot of work, more Zimmerit in front here. The Zimmerit is this like concrete type stuff here, and this is to stop magnetic mines from sticking to the tank. Like I said, it's just a mock-up on a real T-55 tank. This is a Russian T-55 tank. You can see it's a real armor. I mean, the whole superstructure underneath is a real tank. Right now, it still weighs approximately 64,000 pounds. It's a heavy, heavy tank, 32 tons. Moving this around is quite interesting. Now, actually scratched the dented the fender coming in, hit a tree. We can bang that out, no problem.
As far as lighter than the original. The original was 43 tons.
Yeah, 75 millimeter high velocity cannon was on there. That was his main gun. It had MG34 for a coaxial gun, another MG 34-42 for a bow gun here, and a 34 up there for trying protect the tank as best they can. The engine was a 12-cylinder Maybach motor. This one has a 12-cylinder diesel Russian motor because it's on a Russian T-55 chassis. This tank would probably do about 25 miles per hour.
And the
this
armor?
one will go quicker. The armor was a sloped armor in the front, very thick. Pretty much most of the Allied tanks, at a distance would just bounce off this. In close range, get really up close, and probably do some damage. But as far as that goes, until the came out with the Pershing, this thing was really good. The Pershing tank would just pop a hole in this thing. But that's why all the tanks, the U.S. tanks would always try and get them in the side or something, because the side armor and the turret armor on the sides is much thinner than the front. Front slope armor is what they wanted to hit. The crew is a crew of 5. Crew of 5. Yep, there's a commander, which I am. You had a gunner, a loader, radio man, and a driver. That's what we did. As far as the Allies, they like to actually fire around. A good Sherman gunner would try and hit the ground right below this, because this armor here is a little thinner, but underneath it they could skip the round up. The bottom armor is thinner, so they would try and skip it up. Very good, very good. They couldn't. At first, they had a lot of mechanical problems, like the Battle of Kursk. A lot of them didn't even make it out there because there was so many mechanical problems. But they cleared them up, and by 44, this was the tank you wanted to be in. So, late 44, 45. We have a couple of the 1941 Fords that were built for the German Wehrmacht. There was a plant in Cologne, Germany, that built 125,000 tanks trucks for the German army. A lot of people say, well, it's a Ford. Well, Ford had a plant in Cologne, Germany, and they were building vehicles all the way through up to the last day of the war. Matter of fact, Henry Ford went to Congress and said, if you target my facilities in Cologne, Germany, I will cease production on everything here. Do not target my facility in Cologne, Germany. It was never targeted. The Ford plant was never targeted. So it goes to show you, well, what are you going to do? The big industry guy is going to stop all production here if you blow up his plant in Germany, which is helping the German army. Strange, isn't it? Today is my last day as the commander of the 3rd Panzer Grenadiers, which I've been doing for 19 years. And this is my last day. And from here on out, I will just be using this a few times a year as the German tank commander. It's been a long run, 19 years. Great reenactment group, 3rd Panzer Grenadiers, 3pgd.com if you want to check us out on the internet. Dave Klaus will be taking over. He's a original founding member, and it's been a long time.
Yeah, the main reason we all got into it is just a sense of military history. We all enjoy collecting military history and investigating the whole history of it, so that's what we mostly enjoy.
Funny way I got into it was I went to a gun show about 19 years ago. I went to a gun show, and this guy had a table set up with all sorts of pictures. So I started just going through these pictures of look like World War II. They're all black and white. I'm like, wow, interesting pictures. Wow, these look. Where'd you get these? There's a bunch of Germans. Wow, a bunch of Americans. A whole bunch of Germans around a '88 Buick. What's that? Oh, well, those are reenactors. What the heck is reenacting? Well, from there, he told me all about this, and I just got into it and found a German group and hooked up with them because they had more German stuff and they had more interest in it. So, it's like acting. I really rather be an actor than anything, but, I love to do the reenacting because it's as close as I can get. And I had more German interest because doing the bad guy is always interesting. Yeah, like I said, I've been the commander of 3rd Panzer Grenadiers for 19 years. We've done everything from movies and History Channel specials. A couple of us were all in the Patent 360. We were also in the Honor Deferred. We did that for History Channel. It was really nice to do stuff like that because it talks a lot about veterans and what they did during the war. But we've been around, like I said, for a long time, and we really go all up and down the East Coast. We took this to Thunder Rover, Michigan. That was a long ride out to Michigan from here. How many members in the group? About 30 right now. About 30. The economy has hit the reenacting community hard too. Yeah, the traveling expenses have gone crazy. $4 a gallon for gasoline. So a lot of people are cutting back on how much they can reenact. Ammunition's gone up. Just the general cost of doing everything. One of the most memorable events. Oh, boy, God, there's so many. We just did so many things. God, we always have fun here just with the crowd and everything. It's more of a dog and pony show, It's like you're showing all this stuff off. And, you really can't get into your authenticity. We have this one farm that we use. One of our members, his grandfather owns a farm, and it's 500 acres of pristine land that you can go out there and you actually feel like you're in, the Herc Forest or something. You really feel like you're there. You dig a trench and you set up a line. You stay overnight, and you speak in German, and it just really gets you into the feeling of actually something that may have gone on back then. Really, with reenacting, the tactical part of the reenacting, you can never really recreate because nobody's being killed. There's no artillery coming down on us. Anybody can charge a machine gun nest when nobody's getting killed. It's easy. But if you see your friend get sliced in half beside you, what are you going to do? You don't know how you're going to react until you're in a situation. So that's something that reenacting can never, ever come close to.
Nobody else. That's right.